SimWorld presents Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
What's up, everybody? It's me, it's the B.O.B., and I am here with my man, E. E, how are you doing this weekend?
Oh, I'm good. It's a big weekend. It's an American holiday, Super Bowl weekend. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to be here with you, Bob.
Well, what's that big holiday?
Oh, it is the Super Bowl, and in fact, on the show tonight, we are almost exclusively, we'll save a tiny bit of SimWorld chit-chat for the end, but we are almost exclusively not going to talk hoops. We're going to focus on the big game, the Super Bowl. Thought it'd be fun to have a chat with you about that, Bob.
Absolutely. So this is Around the Table with E and the Fat Man. That is E. I'm the Fat Man, and this is where we just talk about whatever we want. And as E said, we're going to be talking a lot about the Super Bowl, probably the biggest Sunday in all of the year. Any sports. I don't think there's no other sport in America that tops Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. I would agree. We're all big basketball fans here, but I don't even know if the NBA Finals, maybe the opening round of the NCAA tournament, that's always a blast too. But each of these things are kind of unique too. So, But anyway, with the Super Bowl coming up, Bob, so first of all, let's establish for everybody, what is your favorite NFL team?
I am a lifelong Minnesota Vikings fan.
All right. So the next question I have for you is, and this is going to be a tough one for you. I mean, I guess you really don't in a direct way. You're too young to have direct memories. But is there anything about, the Vikings have been in 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Does anything, resonate with that from your childhood or something? Or was there a Vikings team that maybe came close?
I mean, we've had a couple that have come close. Obviously, I was not born for any of our 4 Super Bowls. And I don't think I need to. I'll say it once, I won't say it again. Any of our 4 Super Bowl losses, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some teams that we've been close. 98. That was a
Dante
heartbreaker.
Culpepper,
no,
right?
that was Cunningham. That was Moss's rookie year. We had Cunningham, Chris Carter. It was, man, it's tough because we had the most accurate kicker in the league. And, we choke in, we choke. We're big. We love to choke. And I expect it every year. Obviously, Favre's first season with us was the one time that I really thought I'd get to see us get to the Super Bowl. I think we would have won the Super Bowl that year had we gotten past the Saints. But I mean, if you've seen the picture of Favre's ankle after that game, he was really messed up. His ankle was completely, it wasn't even purple, it was black.
Yeah.
But if he would have just run the ball and not thrown that interception, but I always tell people, Favre's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. You live and die by Favre. It doesn't matter. He's going to he's going to throw an interception to end the game, or he's going to win you the game. I mean, there's no in between.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
So no Super Bowl memories for me at all, unfortunately. And then obviously our disappointing year this year, which was expected, 13-3, 13-4 on the season, and then
a soft 13-win team.
Soft 13-win team. We were in the regular season, we were undefeated in 1-score games, but the Giants got one up on us, and we made the change we needed to change. We made the change we needed to make by firing our defensive coordinator, but we waited until after the season. But anyways, I'll ask you the same question. Favorite NFL team and any Super Bowl memories for you?
Well, unlike you, Bob, I have a few because I'm a Cowboys fan. Grew up a Cowboys fan, and I'm a little bit older than you are. So I grew up in the Roger Staubach, Tony Dorsett, Hollywood Henderson, Ed Too Tall Jones, Doomsday Defense back in the day. But of course, also, I got to see the Super Bowls in the 1990s. And it kind of feels like, there's been a lot of them, actually, when I sort of lay it out there. But, it's been a while now, of course, famously. Yeah. We're ready to get back there, too. Keep on coming a little bit short. But, I'd say my best Super Bowl memory really is because, obviously I remember well the 1990s Cowboys, Michael Irvin and Aikman and all that, and those Super Bowls. But I was just old enough that I can barely remember the Cowboys beating the Broncos in whenever that was, 77, 78,
Oh.
something like that. I may have watched a Super Bowl at a younger age, but that was the first one I really kind of remember anything of at all. And for that reason, 27-10, I think, was the final score. It was a big moment for me as a kid. So that would be my best Super Bowl memory. Now, team aside, is there a Super Bowl moment that just kind of lives in your head a little bit, Bob? Is there one? Obviously, it doesn't have to be Vikings related, anything to do with this, but is there a Super Bowl moment that is your just sort of sits on your pedestal for number one?
It's a tough question, but I'm going to go with a more recent answer, and it was when Brady brought back the Patriots. What was it, 28-3 at halftime?
Yeah, it was. That's right.
I just can't. And the Vikings had a game this year where they were down 33-0 and came back and won in overtime.
That's right too.
I can't. It's hard to put into words. Like how does a team allow that to happen? And that's 100 million, 1,000 billion% the coach's fault. As a coach, if you're up 28-3, you got to. In my opinion, I know people hate running up the score and stuff, but when teams are coming back from these outrageous come from behinds, when they come back, it's just score as many points as you can. It does. I don't care. I remember that Favre year, the Cowboys were pissed off after the game because the Vikings kept scoring. You have to, though, because apparently there's no limit on how many touchdowns the other teams can score.
No, there's not.
Who knew?
Only the clock.
Who knew?
Only the clock. All right. Well, you are referencing a classic Super Bowl that I don't think anybody, that one instantly everybody knows what you're talking about, right? There's no confusion about that. For me, sort of the most famous one, and it's ironic because as a Cowboys fan, we have more bitter rivals, but the Steelers aren't loved.
Yeah.
We've met in too many Super Bowls to love each other.
Yeah.
But James Harrison
intercepting
the ball against the Cardinals on the goal line and running for 100 yards with the clock running out of time and just barely making it over for a touchdown.
Yeah.
In a game that had more crazy things to happen, had a toe tap catch to win it as well and everything. But
was that Holmes? Was that
that was Santonio Holmes, I believe,
so.
Who had that game-winning catch and that whole thing. But yeah, the James Harrison pickoff,
that was crazy,
and crazy run too. And like 6 guys tried to tackle him, and that dude was just not having it.
Yeah, well, there's no reason why James Harrison of all, and I know his teammates, if I'm remembering that correctly, they wanted him to he was not giving that ball up. He should not have been the run. He should not have been the one to run that 99 yards, but he
should have given it up.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point could have fallen down even and gotten a field goal try, but instead just went for it. And hey, when it works, it becomes an indelible moment.
No,
and that's why I mentioned right here. It's you get your entertainment value of it. And speaking of just pure entertainment, switch gears slightly, but stick in the Super Bowl realm. Favorite halftime show, personal favorites. I'll go first on this one. I have 2. And I have the one that's maybe kind of the obvious answer, so I'm not going to even spend that much time on it, but Prince. Prince Playing in the Rain, classic, iconic, and to be honest, he just rocked it. I mean, he was great. Of course, he's an incredibly talented musician. He's going to do that. But that's kind of the clear-cut number one. But I want to give an honorable mention to one that I don't think is adequately appreciated, and that is Katy Perry doing the Super Bowl halftime. She came out riding a freaking gold lion onto that field. And look, Katy, again, isn't maybe the musical talent that Prince is, but she brought it. She brought 100% of what she had to that show. And the reason why I actually thought it was so good, too, is because the energy and the vibe matched up well. Maybe it's fake, but I get the impression that Katy Perry actually wouldn't object to watching a football game. I kind of get the impression she probably does end up watching the Super Bowl every year. Like Madonna, no. Madonna hates football. And there's no question. Rihanna, for this one coming up, I believe that Rihanna, would just love to sit around, drink a beer, and watch some football? No, I don't. But with Katie, I could kind of buy it. So I just thought the thematic fit was so good. And actually, the theatricality of the performance was so good that I had to go off on my underappreciated Katy Perry halftime Super Bowl show rant. But I will now turn the floor over to you, Bob, to see if there is a halftime favorite for you. And don't say Up With People. You're too young to remember Up With People. Google it, kids. Google it. Up With People.
No, I think mine's going to be an obvious one. It is, again, a more recent Super Bowl memory. And that was obviously Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent. Jesus, Kendrick Lamar, right? I think he was the last. He was the last one.
It was a constellation of stars.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go with that one. It should have happened a long time ago, but it still happened for us. I think Dre produced the entire show live on stage, so it wasn't recorded or anything. And Dre actually he produced that show from the stage up there, and which is amazing. Unfortunately, bands that I like or that I think would have a great show are never going
not likely to show
they're never going to be up there. We're never going to see a Slipknot halftime show, or somebody like Rammstein would have an amazing halftime show. Rob Zombie, amazing halftime show. I'm never going to get to see them in my lifetime. But again, was that last year's Super Bowl? The Dre, Eminem, and all them. I think that was just last year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it was just last year's. I know I get so forgetful with this stuff, but I think you're right.
Yeah, it's by far, that is my favorite one.
Well, Bob, we've come up on prediction time, so bonus prediction. I'm going off script here. If you had 20-1 odds, would you put $5 down to win 100? Special appearance by Kanye during Rihanna's performance at the halftime show.
I don't know if anybody would let Kanye near anything right now. I don't think I can it's $5, so I'll put $5 down, but I'm assuming I'm not getting that $5 back, let alone 100.
Would it not be the biggest news? Would people not be talking about it? Would there not be loads of press and whatever? It's just a win-win-win all around.
Yeah, it would be... He is somebody that should have probably gotten a halftime show before he went. He's
rumored to have been offered and refused it at one point. I don't know if that's true, but that's a rumor.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, we act like him, and I'm saying he's going crazy. He's not really going crazy. It's just this is his ideals out there right now. But if we really want to see when we should have known this stuff would start happening. I don't remember if we talked about it on and around the table before, but back when he was on Punk'd, he went crazy on Punk'd, thinking that they were going to actually stealing he was supposedly that people came in to take his album or whatever that he was working on, or the music video he was working on, because there was some copyright thing or something ridiculous. He went insane. He took it. He went sprinting. He went and hid into it. He went and hid in a van. It was crazy. I'm like, there's obviously, but I'm going to blame the car accident.
Well, possibly, and we're veering way off course here.
I'm sorry, that's me.
No, but I have to follow on, and I will quickly state that if anybody actually wants to get really, and this applies to you too, Bob, really wants to get a really interesting look at the life and possible mind state of Kanye West, watch a documentary came out last year called Genius, spelled JEEN-YUHS. It is really, really good. I'll leave it at that, but I hope somebody out there watches it because I promoted it here tonight. But back to the main action. I will now give, drum roll please, Eric's Super Bowl prediction. Good Super Bowl this year. Definitely not going to be a blowout. Going to be a good game. In the end, Kansas City 27, Philadelphia 17. Kansas City has a little bit too much, puts it on. Philadelphia struggles on offense. Bob, your prediction, winner and final score.
I want to act like it's easy. I don't think any of these questions are really super easy today. I think I don't trust Kansas City's defense. I'll start with that. I don't trust Casey's defense. I'm still not, despite them being in the Super Bowl, I'm still not sold on Hurts.
I'm not either. And I actually think that Kansas City will get some pressure on him. Their defense isn't great, but I think they can apply some pressure and give him less time to throw, chase him out of the pocket. Now let's see what he does when he gets free.
I think I'm going to go 32 to 28. Oh man, who am I going to go with?
Who wins?
32 to 28. I have to go with KC. I don't trust Hurts.
Right.
I don't trust Hurts enough.
Plus, through the Eagles. I hate the Eagles, so that's all good. I love it. Perfect. All right. Well, hey, let's wrap this thing up, and let's wrap it up back where we belong, back in our domain, in our lane,
SimWorld Hoops,
which is SimWorld Hoops. That's right. So we are coming right up against the end of roster formation period. No more cuts, no more signings. We are coming up on the end of it. There are going to be some decent names, some veterans we saw last year who are not going to find teams. There's going to be some new kids with some talent who's not going to find teams. That's just the world. That's just life. Of the three people who are out there unsigned, who are your top three that you think coaches should be going after right now? Big Bob.
I think that there are two returning players. No, I'm sorry. It's not two returning players. There's one returning player and one that just got cut. Elijah Burrell, I think, is one that people should definitely be looking at. He obviously was pushed out of the spotlight last year with Gotham 5 because of all the stars that they had. I'm not going to get into that long story, obviously. And VJ George Jr., Run DMV just cut him, and I think that he's going to be a really solid player for somebody. He's 6'9", huge for a 16-year-old. VJ George, Elijah Burrell. I'm going to go with an international one here, and I don't think this one should be a surprise, but that Viktoras Ilgauskas kid. Sorry, when you're 7 foot 271.
Yeah.
So all these guys have a bunch of tape on them. I've gotten to see a bunch of scrimmages with Ilgauskas. There are teams there's been a few teams that have reached out to him and thrown him into scrimmages, and obviously we get the watch those as the media. We get the behind the scenes peek to be able to scout them.
Right.
And I think he seems like he does okay. I'm trying to think of the best way. He's good at certain things in each scrimmage, but he's never been able to put it together. But at 7 foot 271, his size is going to just be a mismatch to begin with. So those are my three. What about you?
So we agree on two of them. I can't ignore Victor Ilgauskas because when you're that big, you can't be ignored on any stage, court, room, whatever you may be in. Kid is just too big, is going to make too big of an impact, and as you state, only 16 years old. So that just, you can't ignore that. Going to be a monster. The other one, Run DMV made a mistake cutting VJ George. I'm sure they had the reasons to do what Coach Murray did in supports there. But as you state, just 16 years old, going to be around for a couple of years. At 6'9", we don't talk about how good of a kind of creator and a passer that VJ George is. I got to see him in some pickup games.
Yeah,
this off season, and I'm impressed with his sort of ability to create almost as much as I am with his ability, to score and to kind of be a presence down there.
Yeah.
But where I disagree, and look, Elijah Burrell, I agree, big name out there. There's a couple guys like that returnees.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny May is still out there too, and these guys are both very serviceable point guards.
Yeah.
Levi Rhodes, there's more than a few. But my actual other person, a Eric favorite, a little sleeper that I hope gets taken out there. He's not highly ranked. He is the 46th ranked player in the Northeast. Kershawn Stansell.
Right.
Kershawn Stansell. Yep, probably never heard that name before. Probably nobody listening ever heard that name before. But coaches, take a hard look at Kershawn Stansell. 6'1", getting up on 200 pounds, just 16 years old, and maybe one of the best defenders out there. I truly think, both in terms of being a perimeter defender and plays bigger than his size inside. Can actually go in and help out in terms of post defense. And part of the reason that enables him to be so good on defense is that he's also just an elite level, maybe top 10, a new recruit coming in athlete. Raw, certainly, no doubt about it. Not going to score 20 a game. Not going to flawlessly execute your offense out there, I don't think. But just pure raw ability. Kershawn Stansell, remember that Elava told you about him. If he makes SimWorld, you're going to notice him.
And I'm going to give 3 honorable mentions. So, coaches, reach out to these guys if you can. We got from the South region, we got Josh Hebert. He's out of Lumberton, Texas. And then we got 2 out of the Midwest, Austin Harlan out of Indianapolis. And then we got Louis Aduwu out of Chicago. We got those 3 coaches. Reach out to them. They're sitting there waiting.
Oh, yeah, man. If we get to do honorable mentions, no fair. I didn't know we were going to do that. Austin Harlan would definitely be on my list, though. 6'4" guard, super talented, out of the state of Indiana, where basketball is king. He's going to be a player. But, hey, look at all those names we rattled off. We didn't even get into guys like Marcel Forte, another guy returning who's not bad. And Torian Blood, more folks out there. There are still lots of players scrambling for teams. Only a few spots left. It is an exciting end of recruiting season here in SimWorld.
8
and
days.
Bob, I believe we have also come to the end of this week's Out Around the Table episode.
Absolutely. Before our next episode, we're going to get to see, and I think I'm going to give a shout out to Coach Bellardi for this, because I think this came to fruition because of him. On the 16th, we have that big, that little big 14 tournament for all the unsigned recruits that are, not all, some of the unsigned recruits out there to get some playing time, to get some coaches to see them 3 days before the finalization of the rosters. So don't forget about that. But yeah, this is the end of Around the Table. That's E. I'm the Fat Man. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, folks.